Somalia and Egypt have solidified their alliance by signing a groundbreaking defense and security cooperation agreement in Cairo, reinforcing their bilateral ties and signaling a new chapter in regional security collaboration. The agreement, witnessed by Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud and Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, marks a significant step forward in addressing the escalating tensions in the Horn of Africa. The agreement, finalized during a high-level meeting in the Egyptian capital, commits both nations to enhanced military cooperation and joint initiatives to strengthen Somalia's defense capabilities. This pact lays the foundation for closer collaboration between our defense and security ministries, essential for the stability of our region, President Mohamud said following the signing. The defense pact comes as Somalia navigates a complex geopolitical landscape, particularly its strained relations with Ethiopia. Earlier this year, Ethiopia signed a controversial agreement with Somaliland, a breakaway region of Somalia, allowing Ethiopia to lease a strategic portion of Somaliland's coastline for a naval base. Somalia has vehemently opposed the agreement, viewing it as a violation of its sovereignty. In response to these developments, Egypt has voiced strong support for Somalia's territorial integrity. President el-Sisi reiterated Egypt's commitment to Somali unity. Egypt stands firmly against any interference in Somalia's internal affairs. We are committed to supporting our brothers in Somalia in defending their sovereignty. The deal emerges as Egypt maneuvers to deepen its military footprint in Somalia, marking a decisive shift in the Horn of Africa's security landscape. As the African Union transitions from ATMIS to AWESOM in January 2025, Egypt is positioning itself to supplant Ethiopia as a key peacekeeping force. This strategic realignment illustrates Cairo's resolve to counter Ethiopia's regional influence. Ethiopia, once the unchallenged power in the Horn, now finds itself increasingly isolated by its own overreach. The defense agreement is part of Cairo's strategy to strengthen its influence in the Horn of Africa, particularly in its ongoing rivalry with Ethiopia. Egypt seeks to rally support from other Nile Basin countries against what it sees as a threat to its water security. The defense pact between Somalia and Egypt will likely further strain Ethiopia's already fragile relationships with its neighbors, which have deteriorated due to its controversial regional policies. Egypt, which has been locked in a protracted dispute with Ethiopia over the Grand Renaissance Dam on the Blue Nile, is likely leveraging this defense pact to counterbalance Ethiopia's growing influence in the Horn of Africa. By aligning more closely with Somalia, Egypt could be seeking to curtail Ethiopia's access to the Red Sea and diminish its strategic advantage in the region. The pact took everyone by surprise, most of all Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, who now faces the reality that Ethiopia's bid for regional power is increasingly alienating it from its neighbors, said African affairs analyst Hatem Derderi. This isolation could weaken Ethiopia's negotiating position in its ongoing disputes with Egypt over the Nile and its broader regional ambitions. Somali President Mohamud expressed confidence in the partnership's ability to address these security challenges. With the combination of Egypt's impressive military capability and experience, along with our own courage and determination, we will advance and succeed in securing Somalia from all threats that pose risks to our people and the wider world today. In addition to the defense pact, the two nations have deepened their diplomatic and economic ties. The reopening of the Egyptian embassy in Mogadishu, the resumption of direct flights between Cairo and the Somali capital, and increased trade cooperation are all part of this effort. President Mohamud expressed his gratitude for Egypt's long-standing support, emphasizing the importance of strengthening economic, security, and political relations. The expansion in relations has led to Egypt's decision to import large quantities of livestock from Somalia, a move that is expected to bolster Somalia's economy by increasing export revenues. Livestock exports, which make up over 70% of Somalia's trade, stand to benefit substantially from this new demand, providing critical income for Somali producers and supporting rural economies. The signing of the defense pact also coincides with the stalled negotiations between Somalia and Ethiopia in Ankara, which were mediated by Turkey. These talks, aimed at de-escalating tensions over the Somaliland issue, ended without resolution, leaving both sides entrenched in their positions. Somalia remains steadfast in safeguarding its sovereignty and territorial integrity, the Somali Foreign Ministry stated, indicating that further negotiations may be necessary.